Hello, Stampin' Friends. It's Lori Bradley here in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm a little bit discombobulated today. You'll notice though that I am dressed and I have makeup on. We had our senior assembly for our youngest son this morning at school, so a little bit of a, not sad day, but a little bit of a sad day. We went for senior assembly and here we are. So my house is in a little bit of chaos. As you might have seen, I'm having my buy one, get one sale right now, currently, and it's all laid out on my tables. I have my dining room table, my white tables, my kitchen counter. It's been everywhere. I have so much stuff. So I wanted to tell you about that because there are so many good deals, and I have a buy one, get one group. I'm going to post that in the comments. So if you are interested in buy one, get one, and you're in the United States, you would shop my retired items and then you would buy new stuff and pay for those. So it's a win-win for you, and you get 10% rewards. So that's even better. You spend $100, you get another $10 to spend later, which is amazing. Let's see, there is an In Color sale, and I am going to actually focus on In Colors today, the new 25 to 27 In Colors. I know we've talked about those before, but they're on sale. We should talk about them again, right? So we are going to talk In Colors. I'm going to use all three, for all three of my projects today. I'm going to use the new In Colors, and they are all 15% off. The ribbon, the designer series paper, the cardstock, the markers, the blends, everything that has an In Color. As a matter of fact, even some of the kits or the designer series paper that have one of those colors in there qualifies it as being an In Color. So those are all on sale, 15% off through the end of the month. So make sure that you take advantage of that. Let's see, I think that's all the businessy things. In Color sale, buy one, get one sale. Oh, one more, paper shares. I have a holiday catalog, paper share, product share with ribbon, paper, some extra paper, some gold stars. If you're in the United States, I am happy to give you that information. If you're in Canada, my friend Sue Phillip will be taking care of that. So Sue at Sue's Paper Creations will be the Canadian part, and we're doing the exact same paper share. So if you're in the United States, you can order it from me. If you're in Canada, you can order it from her. All right, so today, let me turn my camera around. We're going to have, I'm going to show you the In Colors first. You'll notice I'm in a little bit different location. I'm in my kitchen today because my tables are still covered with my sale items. So bear with me that we have a new little bit of a background. So my granite countertop is showing through. Let's see. All right, we have the In Colors. I'm going to show you those really quick. We have talked about those before. But I'm going to go through them really quick. We have Strawberry Slush, Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, and Darling Duckling. And there are ribbons to match each one. And I don't have any Timid Tiger ribbon, which I thought I did. But I'm going to show you all the ribbons. There's the Cloud Cover. It's actually still in the package, so I won't unroll that. All of those items are 15% off, so keep that in mind. Let me pull up my video just so I can make sure. We're going to use a little bit of the designer series paper today, the In Color designer series paper, and I will show you those as well really quick just for fun. There's 4 different patterns. There's 2. I'm not sure why Facebook will not show on my laptop right now. There we go. There we go. Oh my goodness. All right. Now, there's the flower side, and I only had one piece of the Cloud Cover. Obviously, that is probably one of my favorites. It has a floral pattern on one side, and then on the other is kind of a speckledy, neutral type pattern. And then the other one sort of looks like tie-dye stripes. That's what I'm going to call it, tie-dye stripes. And on the back side of that is leaves and stems. So, all right, now I promised when I put out we're gonna have lunch with Lori in 15 minutes or 45 minutes that there would be a prize. I have a brand new pack of 25 to 27 In Color gems. And there are one of 3 ways that you can have a chance to win those. And that would be, number one, comment on this video and tell me your favorite in color. Which one is your favorite? Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, or Darling Duckling. That would be the first way. Second would be, if you are not a subscriber to my email, and none of these things cost any money. If you are not a subscriber to my email, make sure that you sign up for that. I will put the link for that in the comments. And then the third way that you could win these gems this week is to sign up, join my buy one, get one sale group. And I will post that link as well. So comment, tell me your favorite in color, join my email list, or join the buy one, get one group. And I will draw next week for one of those, for one name to win this package of in color gems. All right, let's make some projects, and they're all going to relate to the in colors. I'm going to use them all three a little bit differently. The first one is going to be simple, and I'm also using, oh, you're going to have to pick a favorite, Susan. Going to have to pick a favorite. Okay, the first one, all three of my projects today, I'm using a stamp set. A lot of times I show a bundle or I show a suite, but for each of these cards, I'm going to show a stamp set because sometimes I feel like we kind of gloss over those and they're not shown as much. So I like this one. My absolute favorite one in this is Support Wildlife, Raise Children. That's the story of my life, I think. But I'm actually going to use She Believed She Could, but She Was Tired, So She Rested, because that doesn't even have to be a mother thing. That could be anyone who just does too much. And you'll notice on some of my stamps, I have the price on a green sticker because when I was doing my buy one, get one sale prep, I realized when an online exclusive stamp goes away, I can't find the price. So I've started to price things when I get them instead, just so I know how much they actually cost. So motherhood mottos, we are going to use the Darling Duckling, and we're going to cut our designer series paper for that. Also, I'm using the textured notes, not bundle, well, the dies. I'm using the textured notes dies for my things. Actually, that was because it was on my table and I was like, the words I need to use today fit this. So we're using Darling Duckling and Secret Sea with this one. And Pam, I have to agree, a Secret Sea or Cloud Cover are probably my two favorites. So, all right, let me grab my trimmer. And we are going to cut a 4 by 5 1/4 panel. And I have a white panel here and I'll show you what we're gonna do with that. All right, so a 4 by 5 1/4 panel. I'm in my kitchen because my regular live table is completely full of sale things. So my refrigerator just made ice, so I apologize if you hear weird noises right now. All right, so I've got the 4 by 5 1/4 piece of designer series paper. We're going to cut that. I'm going to cut it at 3, I think, and I'm just going to cut it. There's no real good, as there's not a perfect thing. So I have 2 pieces. My trimmer aside. All right, so we're going to glue the floral piece on the top. So we're going to just use some liquid glue and put that on the top. I did say choose one, didn't I? So I'm calling myself out. I will go with Secret Sea also. I just think it's a pretty blue. All right, so now I'm going to take the bottom piece and I'm going to flip that right over. I'm going to have the bottom piece be a little bit more neutral, not so florally. But the word she is in our words, so really it's going to be a lady card. All right, so we've got our piece. Now, before I can go ahead and glue that on as well. I do like to get those pieces out of the way. Because goodness knows I have enough mess. Uh-oh, what did I do? I think I measured incorrectly. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Not that that's ever happened before. I'm just gonna blame it that I had, I don't know, tears in my eyes from assembly this morning, maybe. All right, so all right. We're gonna cut this one down just a smidge. Wish me luck. Is that 5 1/4? All right, apparently I just picked up the piece after I cut it. I didn't actually finish cutting it. So I'm just gonna trim 1/8 of an inch off of both sides of this one. I have the adhesive on there already, so I'm turning it upside down so it doesn't stick onto my cutter. All right, get my scraps out of the way. All right, now we're cooking. Goodness gracious. Okay. Sometimes I would be surprised if things went absolutely correct. All right, so then I have my textured notes dies, and I'm going to stamp. She believes she could, but she was tired, so she rested. Susan was fast because she wanted to get home in her jammies, because she didn't realize she was going out again that day, and she was excited that she could go home. All right, she believes she could, so she rested. I feel like that might be me this afternoon. Okay, so I'm gonna put that piece on dimensionals, but before I do that, I'm going to take my Secret C ribbon. I'm gonna wrap it around. I'm gonna tie a bow. Wish me luck. Stampin' Up! Actually posted a video the other day of their employees, and they took the camera around and they had their employees tie bows like 3 different ways. And I almost lost my marbles because I was like, I can't do any of those. So maybe I should share that video and say, here is how you tie bows. The world according to Stampin' Up! Because the world according to Lori is not a bow tying place. Okay. I tried doing it this direction earlier today and it did not work so well. Let me flip it around. There we go. I'm going to use this ribbon to cover that seam, but it's still all one piece. I just flipped that bottom piece. There we go. Trim those real quick. Okay, now we can put this piece on that we stamped. Use plain old dimensionals for that. Although I'm at the edge, so we're gonna trim them. I have others right here. I had to box up my usual desk. Like I literally had to box it, put the stuff away so I had room for my buy one, get one stuff. Like everything is out of whack. All right, so I'm gonna put that on there. Tuck it kind of underneath that ribbon just a little bit. And then I'm going to put this piece on dimensionals also, but because this is a dark piece, like this background, I'm going to use black dimensionals just so that it's not a super standout, hey, look at me, white dimensionals kind of thing. All right. It's a little hard for me to believe that summer is over, school has started, and we're back to reality. Although this week, Caden had soccer practice at 7 a.m. Oh my goodness, because it's so hot. And he was supposed to eat 2 hours before, which means, 5 a.m., which was a little bit rough at our house, but we made it. I didn't have to get up until 6 today. It was amazing. So, loving that. All right, so let's put some Darling Duckling gems on our card. And there you have it. So we put two of our colors together. I might make that loop just a little bit smaller. There we go. Make the tail a little longer. All right, so there is card number 1. Using Darling Duckling, Secret Sea, and the Motherhood Motto stamp set. Okay, card number 2. We are going to use the Layered Thoughts stamp set. And it's kind of a fun brush stroke looking piece of, stamp set. And we're going to use it. We're going to use the Happy Birthday. We're going to use Happy Birthday. We're going to do a little bit of a fun fold. It's not too crazy. And since I have two of you who are, you know, pretty opinionated, I'm going to ask you for help. All right, so I have my cardstock base, and it is 8 1/4. Is that right? Let me go this way. Yeah, 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. So we have this piece right here. This technically is the piece that I cut off here, 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. But I cut this from a separate piece of paper. So I've used the textured notes die to cut that. I don't know if you can see that. My lighting is different here too, so see the edges there. All right, now I have cut my designer series paper. Let me show you my sample. I did my sample with, and this is a monochromatic strawberry slush, and the paper that I chose was the leaf and the tie-dye stripes. But then I decided, well, maybe that's a little dark. So when I cut my designer series paper for this one, I have 2 pieces of the leaves so that we could do that. This one, the stripe will go this way, or I could make the stripes both go that way. So think about that. Obviously pretend that those stripes are the same. They would all be going up and down like that, or the stripes with the leaves. So let me know what you think. Stripes and leaves, or just stripes, or all leaves for that matter. It just is a little bit darker. Okay, so think about that for just a second. All stripes, all leaves, or one of each. We're going to stamp Happy Birthday. And there's the, like I said, the Layered Thoughts Happy Birthday. Okay. All right. Opinions. I know Susan and Pam, you're both opinionated. Let's hear it. Which one do you think? All right. We're just going to stamp Happy Birthday on our textured notes die. Just like that. Okay. Close my ink pad. All right, so then this gets adhered onto the panel. So I have 2 textured notes that are our focal point on the front. And the dies are a little bit different. Hopefully you can see those. A little bit different on each one, but that gives it some variety. And then, you know what I didn't cut? I didn't cut a white piece for the inside. So we'll do a white piece on the inside that's 2 1/2 by 4. Yeah, 2 1/2 by 4. I just forgot to cut that, and my white paper is on the other side. So we'll skip that on the actual card, but it's the same size as the designer series paper. They're both 2 1/2 by 4. Okay, now, all right, so let's see. I have one of each. I have a stripes. You know what? I think I will do the stripes just so I can actually see if I was correct with that it would stand out a little bit more. I can make a third one. You know, it could be. I'm a stripe and polka dot girl, actually. I do love that. Okay, right. So here's what we've got so far. This is what the stripes will look like. Oh no, I just broke my stripes will look like that. Or there's the flower. I think I'm gonna go stripes. Sorry, Susan. I like the little polka dots on the leaves too. That makes me happy. All right, so that piece, when you adhere it, is going to go, there's gonna be a little bit of a border around the outside. It looks like there's a mat. So you can see that you just line it up with the one on the left side and go around. Me too, Cindy, and I love that you put that in all caps because it's true. Okay, now we have our sentiment piece that's gonna go right here, okay? We're going to only attach it on the left side. I had to stop and think about my sides here. I have a little trouble with my left and right sometimes. Make sure that you don't adhere the whole thing. You don't put it glue all the way across because you know what's going to happen. You wouldn't be able to open your card. And then everybody would be sad. And then, like I said, pretend that there's a white panel right here. It's across the counter. All right. Now, let's put a little bow on here, a little strawberry slush bow. Hopefully this works out for us. All right, if you are just joining, there's a prize to be won. A full package of In Color gems that look just like this, except it's a full package. And you can do one of three things to get in that drawing. You can comment in the comments your favorite In Color, the favorite that I showed, the new 25 to 27 In Colors. Or if you have never signed up for my email list, be sure you sign up for my email list to know about specials and things like classes and things like that. Or if you haven't joined my Buy One Get One group on Facebook, I will put the link for that and my email in the comments, and you can join one of those groups or the email. And that's simple. One person will receive a package of gems, and I will mail those to you. You have to be in the United States. I'm really sorry, but I can't mail things. I'm not supposed to mail things across borders, I don't think. So just make sure that you are in the United States. There we go. And let's go ahead and put in a couple of strawberry slush gems because this is, like I said, monochromatic. Let's do it. Let's put a couple over on this side. And then let's go here. All right, so there's our monochromatic happy birthday card. Okay, and then there it is with the two colors, the two different patterns. It's not two colors, it's monochromatic. That means one. Ooh, strawberry slush. Did you like it when it first came out, Diane, or were you, did you notice it when it came out the second time? All right, there's card number 2. All right, while Diane's thinking. All right, now I had somebody ask me about embossing not too long ago, and I promise, if you're watching, Debbie, I promise you will emboss at a class coming up soon. But my next card, I did emboss, and I've already done that because the chaos on my counter right now is not, yeah, anyway. All right, so this stamp set is thanking you. There's a simple birthday, there's a simple congrats that is kind of the same font. Well, hi, Moira. Thanks for watching from Canada. I appreciate that you joined us. Thank you, congrats, or happy birthday. I chose to thank you, and this is so simple. You could do this with just ink and paper, and it looks like a fun, just simple one stamp, boom, you're done. But we're going to use it a little bit different. We're going to add, we're going to zhuzh it up a little bit. So I used the big stamp. I mean, it's big. This is the background stamp. This is what I used. And so, but what I did was, I don't want to show my card fully yet because it's a secret. Actually, you probably just saw it. I embossed in white. I white embossed that thank you. So I stamped it in Versamark, and then I used white powder on white cardstock. Okay, and it's already embossed. My my main focus color for this one is going to be the Timid Tiger, and so it's here. My card base is Timid Tiger. I have that. Now, I'm going to make a rainbow, sort of. I'm going to take blending brushes, and I'm going to use the Darling Duckling, the Timid Tiger, and the Strawberry Slush, and I'm going to use those to color our card front. There's no right or wrong on how much of each that you want. You could make polka dots if you want, like circles. You could do straight stripes or diagonals, whatever you like to do. And I have my blending brushes. And actually, I forgot a paper towel. Let me grab a paper towel really quick. See, that's the benefit of being in the kitchen, except I had to go underneath the cords for the plugs. Okay, so we're gonna start with the yellow. I always start with the lightest color just because that way if I mess it up, I'm going darker and not lighter. So I'm gonna take my Darling Duckling. I'm gonna start off my paper. When you use the blending brushes, you should always start off the paper so that you don't get a big, let me show you what you would get. If you start on your paper and start like that, you're gonna get a big blob. And we don't want a blob. We wanna start off the side and go from there. So we're gonna start off the paper and then go, and that gives us a little bit more consistent color. Let's see, that's probably close. All right, so we're gonna do that. You can put as much as you want, whatever, however dark you want your yellow to be. Need to go a little over my K a little bit more, I think. And again, there's no right, no wrong. We're just gonna color it. I'm gonna go to the Timid Tiger next. We're gonna use that blending brush. I turn that around because it's easier for me to go along that edge from that angle, because I'm right-handed, I guess. Go with our Timid Tiger. I think you could use any of the In Colors. I think any of these colors would be beautiful together. The one thing that I will say is that there is no cloud cover ink pad. The light color, the light one, there's no ink in that color. You could get an ink refill and a Stampin' Spot, the little spots, but there is no ink because it reacted with the chemical in the ink, reacted with the chemical in the foam pads, and it didn't work. So the color did not come out right. And people, there's complaints, of course, because that's just how people are. But I'm going to call it a win that Stampin' Up! Didn't let that product go to market because it wouldn't have made people happy. And so they made the decision to pull that before it was released. They did make a few. There were a few available. I'm not sure if there are any still available. But just know that there was a reason for it, and it was a good reason, and it wasn't anything bad. And sometimes, I went to pharmacy school. I had a lot of years of chemistry. You never know how something's going to react. So sometimes a different color has a different chemical in it, and it just reacts differently. So anyway, there's your chemistry lesson for today. It's like back to school, right? Okay, now you can see where I stamped and I embossed in the white embossing powder. I'm going to take my paper towel, and we've got ink across that embossed piece, and that's slick, and that ink is not actually going to stick. So it would get all over your hands, all over your recipient's hands, and I'm just going to wipe off the top of those letters just to make sure that nobody gets all messy, gunky from your card. Okay, so there we've got our stripes. We're going to go ahead and close my ink pads. And once we did that part, it's super simple. But if you could even do that as your background and stamp it in black. Or actually, I'm going to guess if we did thank you on a white panel, we could probably stamp it in Strawberry Slush right across the top of that. You know what? We might try it. We might try it. I might grab my paper if you all have a little bit of patience, and we'll just do it. All right, so I cut another piece of white that's 4 by 5 1/4, and it is going to give us just a little bit of a white mat around the outside, just to give it a little bit of a break. And then we'll glue that onto our Timid Tiger panel, onto the card base. And then since Timid Tiger was my main color, let's go ahead and put some Timid Tiger gems. This one I didn't think needed a ribbon, and actually it's probably a good thing it didn't need ribbon because I don't have any Timid Tiger ribbon, which is ridiculous. So that, guess what's going on my next order? Let's put another one there. All right, so there is that, thank you. You know what, give me 1 second, let me grab white paper. Right here. Okay, let's cut a 3 3/4 by 5 panel. Let's just see if we can stamp that strawberry slush. I think that the actual strawberry slush ink will be a little more vibrant than the brushed on, so I think it's gonna work, but let's try it. If it doesn't work, then we tried and we failed, and it's all good, right? We're trying a little experiment. All right, so I'm going to start with the Darling Duckling again off the paper. And I do notice that depending on how you cut your paper on your trimmer, that edge, if you cut it like this, when this side is up, there's a little piece that's a little bit rough right on the edge. Make sure those are down, and that way you won't have a whole extra little swoop of color right there that you didn't want. Like right along the edge, you can see that the edges are just a little bit darker, okay? Or just let it go, that's also fine. Okay, now let's do Timid Tiger. I'm kind of excited to see how this is gonna work. Not excited about how that ink turned out. Goodness gracious. All right. I'm gonna have to blend that all together. I'm not sure what happened right there. My ink got a little crazy. But we're gonna go with it. Okay. Some swirls. I guess swirls are okay. We're just gonna make it look like it's tie-dye, sort of. All right. All right, we're gonna see, Pam. I'm going for it. And because Strawberry Slush isn't the main color, I think it's gonna be okay. It's not the middle section, so we'll actually be able to see our words. All right, so I have that. Now let's take that thank you. It's big. You're gonna have to, probably the best way for you to ink that thank you is what I did with the Versamark ink. I laid the stamp down and I walked my ink pad right over it. That's an easy way to make sure that your large stamps get inked. I have to be careful though, because I don't want the edges of the ink pad to show up because there's lines. All right, wish me luck. If it doesn't work, then we tried and failed, and it's okay, right? All right, I'm gonna make sure we push that down. Ta-da! What do you think? Ta-da! Okay, actually, let's just go ahead. I have a Strawberry Slush card base right here. That was a little bit extra. And let's see, do I have I do. Let's go with a yellow. I'm gonna cut the yellow and make a panel for that. Okay. Just do a 4 by 5 1/4 panel. Because I don't usually use the lighter colors as a panel, but since the piece that we have stamped on is a little bit darker, I think we can. I think we can do that. And it'll show up. If not, I'll just send this to somebody that I'm not as thankful for, right? No, I would never do that. I'm just kidding. So if you get this card in the mail, you'll know. And there you go. Let's see. Let's go with the orange dots this time. No, let's go with the pink. There we go. So we have card A, which is the embossed piece, and card B, which is the just stamped on. So there you have it. That was a quick little impromptu, let's see how it works. And I think it worked okay. I think we could do that. Yeah, the secret C I think would be great as well. So if you are excited about winning a pack of gems, make sure that you tell me your favorite color, your favorite in color that we've talked about, or sign up for my email list if you've never done that, or join my Facebook buy one get one sale group, and we will draw for a pack of the 2025-27 In Color Flat Pearls next Wednesday. We'll be back to regular Wednesday next week at 1:30. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry that I'm a little, my counter's a little crazy here. But I hope that you enjoyed the cards today. Let's see, we've got our stripes, our happy birthday with the thoughtful wish or layered thoughts. We have our simple thank you. And where's my, oh, here it is, motherhood mottos. We have our she believes she could card. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to look for those, little, just the stamp sets, not the bundles and the dies, but actual just stamp sets, and see what you can do with those. So have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.